It's just gone 7:30 in the morning, and then right above this R32 you'll see a massive engine, and then I take it round and a plane, a big massive Airbus, and you can see Air Diamond Café and Resort Rayong, and that is where I am this morning, the final car meet of the year. It is the 29th of December. We're 2 days from New Year, the last meet, the last Sunday of the year, and I'm in Rayong for Cars and Coffee Rayong. Cars, coffee and planes in the plural, because you can see there is another big plane behind there. There's also a bizjet, there's also a propeller plane, and I'll take you to see all those. And you know you're in Rayong because everything has got bounce on it. That's a Rayong air shop, one of the most famous shops in Thailand. You can see this came in here right down on air. So I'm going to take you for a whiz around, and we ought to start here because we've got R33, 32, we've got the famous wagon, and we've got another 32 that all those people are standing around checking out, so we'll get back to that in a minute. And again, back to this big massive engine. Man, this is a decent backdrop. So we've got a Mazda 3 here, be patient, I'm lowered, bounce luxury, Bangkok, a lot of other stuff going on here. Got some BMWs lined up here. The first Itasha car and not the last. Then an FD Type R. This came and I showed you. But first of all, what I actually want to do is just go and show you this plane and just climb up so you can get a view and just talk about what is going on here, because this is a unique location. Ticket office there. I'm going to climb up these airline steps, squeeze past these people, and just quickly give you a bit of background, because I was here 2 days ago to make a video on this plane. So I'm not going to go right through this plane today. I'm just going to show you, actually look at the cars queuing up to get in this morning. This event is going to rock. Anyway, this plane right behind me, it's an airplane coffee shop. The one behind is going to be a resort, but it's not finished yet. And so I came here 2 days ago on the 27th to make a whole video on this plane. So if you want to watch that, just click on the link above, or click on the video right at the end when this video finishes, or I'll drop it in the description. And I went right through the plane, right through everything that was going on, and you can check that out because this is kind of amazing. It's new, it's full on. But today I want to talk about the cars and what's going on with this meet here. But I'm just going to very quickly show you inside before we get into it. Up the top of the stairs, we've got a whole plane that doesn't look like a plane normally looks, and it's a big queue for coffee, so we're going to leave that completely. And here we've got the cockpit where you can come and you can hit in for your photos, but we're going to leave that completely out of this video today. And just to mention one more time, you can check out the whole story of this. It actually opened on the 25th of December. I came here on the 27th of December to make a video, and now I'm back on the 29th of December to make another video, but this video is just about cars. So let's crack into this. Almost right underneath the engine, I want to take you for a look at this R32 because this is really interesting. You can see on the back end it's got this very small carbon fiber rear wing. It's kind of like a gurney flap, and down here got all carbon fiber diffuser and flicks on the end, and a big exhaust and kind of aftermarket lights. If we look around the side, it's got a full cage in it, and you can see a lot of carbon fiber going in. And then the whole bonnet is all carbon fiber. In fact, the front end is all carbon. You can see it's got quite an interesting profile splitter on the front, big cooler there. And then the dive plates are also quite interesting. They kind of curve around the arch and flick right inside. This thing looks like it's got quite a lot going on. So I'm going to nip the other side of the plane. I'm going to show you some FDs over here, because these cars are not for the shy people. Right here, we've got an FD in JS Racing livery. Just point quickly, because they also got bikes coming in this morning as well. Back to this anyway. This is pretty nice in JS Racing. It's got a carbon splitter on the front, a lot of aero work going on, riding really nicely, the whole Itasha thing. And then here we have got one in an absolute shockingly loud pink. We'll just let these bikes go past again. Anyway, got one in a shockingly loud pink. I like this though, really nice stance. All work going on the back, pretty nice ride height. Here we have a lot of aero going on here. We've got more going on here. We've got a Vans one here, and then over here we've got another FD, and this one is also in a shocking pink/purple. Man, round this corner, this is not for the shy guys. And I got to apologize because we're still so early in the morning. My shadow is just completely interrupting. This Accord is quite interesting. It's got quite a lot going on here. It's got a rear wing that comes out flush. You can see it's almost kind of like drag style. Looks quite good, that. Then running on white work wheels, which look pretty nice. But around the front, I really like what they've done here. Got a big composite front bumper, spoiling everything in one piece. And these stripes kind of gives it a real big feel, kind of wider at the side. It's quite nicely done. It's not like a lot done to it, but it's just completely transformed the car. And here we have the big boss of the A31 Chonburi Rayong Club. On the end here we've got 4 really nice FK8 Civics all dressed up, and you can see this one with the JS Racing thing going on, all this carbon on the front end. And I'll spin round so we can have a look at some of the details, and you can see all these air exits on the bonnet, composite bonnet, and they're running on wet sport wheels, and it's got endless calipers, discs, bells, the full works going on. A lot of carbon aero here. Then this one, we've got Varis and we've got JS Racing, so we've kind of got a bit of a mix going on. I'm not sure where one starts and the other ends. And we've got a big air intake on this carbon bonnet as well. Looks really, really good. The third one here, we've got a wide body going on here. You can see these wide extension, not Liberty Walk, play on it of white Volk racing wheels. And again, got Brembo's discs and bells. Lots of carbon going on the front here. And then this one as well, we've got another one with a JS Racing thing going on. Lots of carbon, bonnet, lots of air intakes, and this is running on NK wheels. And again, this has got AP Racing calipers, it's got discs, bells, the full works. Look at that carbon mirror with so much detailing going on. On the back here, we've got a big carbon wing, a lot of aero in the back end. This one, again, he's got some very unique aero style on the back end. Mugen badge, SI. Back to this one, carbon boot, lower spoiler which is adjustable, big twin exits, and then finally to the first one again, we've got a big wing coming on here, and then all his diffuser section here is carbon, and he's got a big single exit going on. Here we've got a classic Volvo. That badge is really corroded, and you see on the roof he's got a German driving school light on it. Now this Volvo actually is an exhibit. It's part of the whole place, this Air Diamond Café and Resort. And while I'm here, we can get a closer look. We can see there's also a tuk-tuk van, an old fire engine, and here's the plane that is going to be a resort when it's finished. That is pretty crazy. But like I say, I've done a complete video on this place just 2 days ago. In fact, I dropped it up yesterday. So I'll put the links in and you can check that out. We haven't got many classic cars here, but we've got a couple of bugs here and they look pretty good, and I like this with all the patina on it. And here we got another one, and it's kind of got the real old retro covers over the lights angled in. These look pretty good. Just spin you around, you can see the Porsche badge in the middle, and you can see the Fuchs style alloy on that. What I love here is people will take any car you can imagine and turn it into something special. And this Brio is a case in point. Now we've got this really cool contrast between the Thai Airways purple and the purple on this. That is good enough for a start, but you can see this Brio, it's right down on air. It's got Brembos stuck in the back there, split rim wheels, or at least split rim effect. And on the back, he's got some serious camber going on here. This is pretty nice. Roof spoiler, all done in a really nice paint finish. Like I say, down on air, stance, man. It's what it's all about. You take something and you max it the way you want it. So here we've got two really nicely done cars. We've got a 350 there, and I just spin around, we've got a really nice 300 here. These two look really good. Quite a bit of modification going on. We've got an electric trolley that belongs with the plane, and you can see the plane towering up over us. And then look at this classic Isuzu pickup with a cooler out the front, right running low on air, whole music thing going on the back. And then what I really want to talk about is kind of the Rayong scene, if I can squeeze in and out of these people. Spin it around, because Rayong, it's about 160 k's out of Bangkok, about 40 k's from Pattaya, and it's kind of on the road when you head east towards Chantaburi. And it's a fairly quiet, it's kind of a forgotten town. The whole tourist thing, the whole buzz, the hype, the urban thing, it kind of stops at Pattaya, and then Sattahip is quieter, Rayong is quieter, and you go up to Chantaburi and it's quieter as well, and it thins out with people. But although Rayong is one of those kind of sleepy, quiet places, it has a real hardcore car scene, and people here love cars, so it's always cool to come down here and check out the car scene. And just spin round and show you, for example, this classic Isuzu pickup, man. All the engine bay is done. Look at all that custom work, the turbo, the inlets, the headers, everything. And then you look at the fitment here, and that's riding on big NK wheels, Brembo calipers, discs, bells, the full works. And again, on the back end, we've got this big fitment going on. And that's what I kind of love here, because it's like kind of like a real hardcore raw scene. It's not refined like in Bangkok. You can see mostly JDM, quite a few German stuff here. And here we've got a row of Imprezas and an 86, and then a lot of EGs and EKs, an Audi R8 here, a classic one, some BMWs, but I say mostly it's JDM, but it is real done hardcore style. It's done with passion, it's done raw style, and I absolutely love that. And also I should say, you can see bounce everywhere, all this air suspension. Bounce is probably the biggest and the most famous air suspension shop in Thailand, and that is in Rayong. It's just on this road, just up the road actually. It's kind of a fairly small place, you could easily miss it, but they do some great work. And I just spin you around, this Master 3 down on air, and then we've got this Accord down on air with quad pipes. Man, that looks absolutely great. Just a reminder, I'm making this video on the 29th of December because those are probably the biggest antlers you are ever going to see. They are huge, they are sticking out maybe 1.5 feet. But we should look at this city as well, because it's got this really interesting distinct pink colour, wooden Nardi steering wheel, and then it is running on this BBS on air, stunts the life out of it. And you can see it is right down, the tyre is crushing the wheel arch and the paint is coming off. And the same story on the front, that is absolutely right down. And with the stance boys, there is no compromise in their style. This D-Max gives an example of another really big fashion now. You can see how the back end is jacked right down to give it the whole drag style feel. And again, I apologize because my shadow is walking into every clip this morning. I've got to show you this EG because I really like this. This kind of livery is getting quite popular, and this has been hand drawn on the car, and it's on quite a few different cars, but this is one of the best applications I have seen so far. This looks great. It's right down on air, and you see the fitment that is coming out. 15-inch rims, 205/50, so quite a tyre wall on that. He's got what looks like a homemade, a custom front splitter on it, carbon bonnet, and again he's put all this striping on the bonnet. And then this skateboard, man, this guy has been to a lot of Cars and Coffee events. I recognise most of those stickers, to be honest. Looks really, really good. Yellow lights. Again, we can see here how far out it comes. On the back end, he's put these bolt-on arch pieces. It's bringing it out maybe 3 centimetres. Really nice. Big painted tyre walls. And then on the back end, we've got a massive rear wing and a whole set of struts and dampers and wires, securing it all into place. Just try and step back a little bit, and you can see this EG is pretty nice. It's got some nice details on it that I want to show you. It's got a big steel towing eye there, back box coming out. I like the Nightmare, but if we look on the rear wing, the whole rear wing is like a one-piece composite section, flows up and out. It's riding really low. It's got 16-inch wheels. In fact, if we can have a look at the size, 205/50. And then round the front, some nice details here. He's deleted both his headlights, put like LEDs, and he's got air intakes where the headlights went. And then on the side here, his dive plates, they flip up and then they come right down and bolt into the splitter. This Corolla has had a pretty hard life. You can see all the paint flaking off the bumper. You can see extra air intakes cut in there. You can see his towing strap is fading away. It's got bonnet pins because this is a race car, and you see it's got its emergency kill switch, but this races in Super Club Compact at Pira Circuit, just about 10-15 kilometers in that direction, and it looks pretty cool. It's got perspex windows that look like you cannot see through them, air intakes here cut into it Narca duct style. On the rear, it's got a rear wing that is kind of very BTCC 90s period Looks really, really good. Perspex rear window as well. Full cage, all stripped out. Bucket race seat. This has had a long racing life. And what I really like here is Sunday morning to the car meet. People drive the race car, although we've got police around here directing the traffic and organising things. But I really like that. The people bring their race car and they drive it to the car meet. I should mention these Airbuses are ex-Thai Airways. You can see the purple and gold colours on the back end, the Thai Airways colours. But right here we have an ex-Thai Airways service van, and I really like this. It's still got all its numbers, it's ISO certified stuff. The Thai here really faded away, really cool, and just running on real wheels, which I don't think this would have had when it was in service. And here's one more A31, and this one, very familiar car, Sadi Cab, belongs to the guy who, one of the organisers of the A31 Chonburi Rayong Club. And then moving out of the space, we can have a look. This is the second of this style livery I've seen this morning, and this also looks really, really good. And you can see the whole top end of his engine is kind of all billet, beautifully detailed jazz, really, really nice. Carbon details inside. And I like this livery, and when I was saying before, the EG with this style is probably one of the best I've seen, this also looks really, really cool. And from this Jazz with a pretty cool colour scheme, we have got another Jazz with a gigantic alien on the side and space system down there. Now, I don't know whether this is anything to do with computer games or movies or whatever, so I apologise if I don't know. I have no idea the significance of that, but it looks pretty good, and for me it looks pretty unique. I've never seen that on a Jazz before. So from one A31 to another one, this is pretty nice as well, and it's right underneath the wing in the VIP spot. Let's have a quick look at some of the details on this. Carbon fibre bonnet, the bumper's been all cut out for the cooler, 18-inch wheels in white, GTR calipers, vented discs and bells, and we look on the back end as well. It's got a carbon fibre boot. We've got to have a look at this Mighty X build, because this is absolutely full on, over the top, outrageous, the most crazy outrageous thing you're going to see this morning. It is right down on there and right in front of the plane as well. But if we look around, the paint is amazing. All this fleck paint, beautifully done. And he's cut out the engine cover and he's painted the cam cover in the same effect. And clearly it's had quite a bit of structural work done to get it right down on these amazing wheels. Kind of like California style, I think. And you can see it is right down on the ground. Everything has been detailed and painted. We'll go around the other side quickly and look inside the cockpit, because it is full, over the top, outrageous. Got an alloy steering wheel, got a Japanese style gear lever, all done in white leather. The dashboard has all been painted white, and then on the back end, I'll try and get my shadow out of it, everything has been deleted, and it's got this custom rear lights on it. That looks completely crazy. What a way to turn up to the car meet on a Sunday. And this is kind of putting the plane in the shadow. It's not just cars, there's bikes as well. Loads and loads of bikes have rocked up. Kind of hold this up so you can get the whole view, and as much carbon as you would see on half the cars here as well. Some really nice machines, but I don't want to get sidetracked onto that. Just to show you, there are bikes absolutely everywhere here. Quite a lot of stunts going on this morning, and this city in a pretty shocking pink that is absolutely right down. You can see the paint's come off and it's rusted away. He has got his arch jammed on the inside of the rim, split rim effect wheels, and then we go next door and we have a Mini with rotiforms, and again that is stance and that is right down on air. End of the meet, you always get some cracking photos of people line up their cars to take photos. So while I'm here, I just want to show you the fourth plane here, which you didn't quite see before. This is a propeller plane, and you can see they fitted out a really nice custom cockpit. And inside the rear, if I can duck behind all these bars, you can see it's all been fitted out as well, really nicely. This whole place is amazing. But let's get back to these Hondas lining up, and this is a great picture because you can see the BizJet there, you can see the Café plane there, and you can see this Airbus, which is going to be a resort. And man, there's a lot of cars coming up now to join this photo. So we can see on this big digital display, it's 29th of 12th, 2024, and it's 9:16, and the sun is coming up. So that is my cue to be out of here. So, as I always say at the end of my videos, thanks for watching. And this is the last time I will say that in 2024, because it's my last video of the year. I'm just squeezing this out before the end of the year. My last car meet of 2024. I'll just stop here, buy this absolutely amazing custom R32. I'll just say thanks for watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see a lot more content like this in 2025, please subscribe, because I'll be hitting 2025 like I hit 2024 with loads of car meets, loads of events, loads of stuff coming out of the car scene in Thailand and Southeast Asia. But for this one, I'm done, and I usually say over and out, see you next time or whatever. But today I'm going to say it's time to take off.